the man, the king, the god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies vs. the World is a podcast every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution within the fans to unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World, 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
Oh, it's the man, the king, the god of the shit, Nick fucking Cage. You know, I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members. And I want to let everybody know Blvd Bullies vs. the World is a podcast every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution within the fans to unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out Blvd Bullies vs. the World, 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend, MDK all fucking day.
Toast. Toast, toast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the longest running episodic podcast on the Blvd Bullies YouTube channel. Welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the World. I'm your host, PK. Later on this evening, we will be joined by the Rhinestone Cowboy with his boots on the ground review of the Squared Circle Expo. The new champion, the new king of the Expo Walk and Talk himself will be joining us here. And, of course, my co-host, my cohort, my dear, dear friend, CZW Hall of Famer, Showcase Showdown, Price is Right winner, the BBC of pro wrestling, the best dressed man in the entire fucking world, my father of wrestling and your daddy. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Legend with the cop glasses, with the T1000s.
I call them them Big Bubba Rogers. Big Bubba Rogers. Yeah.
So bad news. I bought a few White Claws for the thing, and you know, like I didn't have an ashtray, which is an often problem that I have often. So I put my cigarette butts in the cans when I'm done with them. Right. Opened up a fresh can, finished my cig, put my cig out in the fresh can, which I could not accept. I tried to finger it out. Wasn't figuring out. And the more it sits there, the more, you know, fucking poisoned the claw gets. So what I did is I quickly poured it into a cup. And there's like a little ash in this cup, but it hasn't like, I'm looking at the clear claw water, Larry, and it hasn't tainted the color, but I feel like I don't want to sip on this. So I'm just going to chug this cup with White Claw Surge, lime, and Newport ash in it.
Yes.
Just real quick. Because we got to save money, Larry.
Yeah,
we can't be wasting money.
Just drink it. Just drink it. Just drink it. Yep. I was waiting for you to say that's the part of the story. I was like, I'm just going to chug it.
Oh. Woo, all right. Now that that's out of the way, hello. How are you? Welcome back to the East Coast.
I'm tired, but that's not important. That's not important. The Gulf Coast, they've been so good to me over these years. I like the Gulf. I dare say I love going to Houston.
I saw that you made in your Instagram post, you said in your Instagram post, it's a very, very bad neighborhood.
Well, I mean, the crowd assembled and the, you know, environment around was not all that inviting. They kind of went together. I'm just saying, like, if I was a tourist and I was like, hey, Uber, drop me off here, and like I'm riding up on this place, I'm like, oh God, I'm not asking for directions at this seemingly biker outpost.
It's like
across the
meth
street.
labs aplenty.
But it just was like, I was like, oh. And I only say that because the only other place I've been in Houston was the Houston Premier Arena. And I don't know if you've heard about the Houston Premier Arena, Pat, but that ain't no walk through no motherfucking Central Park getting to that place.
So, which one would you say is worse, or worse, the place that you were at, or the Houston Public Arena?
Well, the Houston Premier Arena is kind of a death trap. There's only one way in or out, so if some shit breaks out, there's definitely a stampede with a little narrow kind of like, everybody, let's take our time and get out in a fan. I'm dead. Because the announcer tried to hold it, I'm dead. And some shit that breaks out because I'm trying to make sure everyone goes through this little funnel. So the danger element is there. Then when you get out there, you're truly in a Def Jam Fight for New York junkyard. You're truly in a gravel pit with abandoned buses and cat broods that have, it's like, it's amazing where this place is and how it's the premier arena of Houston.
How does it compare to the surrounding area of like the Hart Ballroom or some of the places in Baltimore that you frequent?
Well, the Hart's in Newark. The Hart's in Newark, and Newark is the carjacking capital of these United States. And the Hart's like it's off of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, Pat. So
right, like that's how you tell the scary areas in the East Coast when it's called Martin Luther King Boulevard, Malcolm X Lane. Larry Legend Alley. But I feel like Houston, Houston, they would never name a street Martin Luther King Boulevard. Or maybe they would. I don't know. But I feel like the Texas town scary. It's a different scary than Newark scary. Because to me, Newark, where the Hart Ballroom is, not that frightening. But I feel like if I was at the Houston Premier Arena that you just described, I would be a little scared. And probably vice versa. I feel like if you took a fan from Texas, put him in Newark, they'd be like, oh man, this is a little hairy. I wish I was back home in good old safe Houston.
Let me tell you like this. There was a spot right across the street from where 7 was this past weekend that Pat
Savon.
I looked at this Savon. I looked at this place and I took a picture of it from the outside, and then I thought, I don't think you should go in there, Larry. I don't think it's really your people.
What kind of place was it?
Well, it was like kind of like a general store. It was like a general store, Pat.
Guns, ammunition.
Well, I didn't get in all the way in there, but I saw some leather-clad folks with bandanas, and then Larry, don't go in there. Now, Pat, at the Hart Ballroom, there's like a BP gas station across the street where, at the end of the show, maybe we need some backwoods, we need some raw codes, we might need a swisher. I had no problems at like 2:45 in the morning in my, tuxedo jacket, walking across the Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, going to that like fucking gas station and getting what I needed. I didn't care. If I die, I die.
Well, I feel like me and
Texas,
you and
I was like, oh, I'm not messing with these horns. I'm not messing with these horns.
Yeah, you mess with the horns, you get horned. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of the horns, happy belated birthday to the lovely Amanda.
Happy belated. What was I going to say? Oh, I feel like when we were in Hart Ballroom, me, you, and your brother, we walked like 2 blocks, 3 blocks, made a left, a right, maybe another left, and we went into the wine and spirits store. Not a problem.
I would not do that in the part of Houston that the Savon show was at. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't do it, Pat.
Yeah. So great times. Great times indeed. When did you fly out? Saturday morning?
Friday night.
Oh, so you had an evening.
No, I didn't.
So you flew out Friday night. Obviously, Jimmy Controversy or the Houston version of him was there to pick you up at the airport.
Pat, my layover was in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Brett Lauderdale. Okay?
Oh, Fort Brett Lauderdale, of course.
Bro, there was some sort of folderol with a sick passenger right before we went to take off to go to Houston. I was supposed to get into Houston on Friday night at 11:28 at night. Friday night, 11:28 is when I was supposed to get into Houston. Because of the sick passenger, that we had to go all the way back around to the tarmac and put the fucking juju back on the plane so he could get off. They canceled our flight.
What in
and flew us
God's
out
name?
Yeah.
What
flew
kind
us
of
out
sickness
first
are we
thing-
talking about? Like a little tummy, or like did he have like a the
I
person have a
didn't
seizure?
ask. I didn't ask, Pat. I didn't care. I was tired.
Geez, so
We
what happened
flew
when your
out
flight
at-
canceled? You just hanging around
We
the airport?
Just walked around the airport all night, Pat. Coffee. Hey, you know they got those new like Amazon kiosks where you just tap your phone and then you walk in and you grab what you want and it records you and then it charges your card that allowed you to tap in. I didn't have enough money on my card. I had enough money to get tapped into the thing, but I didn't have enough money for all the things I grabbed.
Oh no. And you can't
But it let
shoplift
me
in an
out.
airport. Probably one of the worst
let me out.
places.
It let me out, Pat. It let me out, and I went and I ate my popcorn and my Doritos.
Nice. That sounds fucking horrible. Does that happen a lot to you, where your flight gets canceled and you're stranded in an airport walking about?
You know, Pat. I'm new to Savan. I'm new to Savan. I've been flown places by VXS. I've been flown places by Arohach. I've been flown places by, whoever. I've been flown places. But it seems like with Savan, it's always kind of a little like, and then you gotta do this, and then you gotta do that, and then you gotta do this, and then I'm like, I'm exhausted by the time I even get there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely not flying about as much as you, but I feel like it's a 50-50 toss-up every time, whether or not the flight exists, if you get put to another flight, if you have to wait around the airport for like 4 hours. 4 hours is actually kind of an easy bid right there. Because sometimes, I feel like when I flew to Mania in New Orleans, it was like, okay, you could either wait here for 8 hours, or we can because the weather was poor. Also, it was very windy, I remember. So like all these flights get rerouted. So it's like, okay, hey, next flight, 8 hours, or you could like go on your phone or go to the kiosk and like we wound up like rescheduling for 9 a.m. So we got to we left JFK. We went home for the evening. Cause like, okay, even in bumper to bumper traffic, I could be in my bed in 3 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I feel like the traveling life, the weekend warrior, independent wrestling life, probably you get stranded at the airport a lot.
Well, Pat, that's one of the reasons you asked if Jimmy Controversy was there to pick me up, brother. I always only time I don't get a rental is if when I have back-to-back bookings in multiple cities. Like, I remember I did the Jimmy Controversy in Philly, and then the next day I had Chicago. It's like I can only afford one rental. I can afford a rental to Philly from Baltimore, and then a rental when I land in Chicago. So I don't ever really get stranded because I just take care of my own shit. I don't want to be waiting. When I get off that plane, I don't want to be waiting. I don't want to wait any longer.
And I just think it was a very wise decision all around, wearing your boss man glasses. You know, you want to get as white as possible when you're walking around Houston.
Well, I would have worn my dead uncle's duster, but I received a telegram from one John Bradshaw Lakefield.
It said, "Hey, lay off the duster, bitch. Or else I'll send my biker gang in Houston. I'll find you at Savon." Because Justin Bradshaw these days, he's got his fingers on the pulse of the indies. He even smells or senses another duster in the fray. He showed up and clotheslining from helling your ass. Clothesline from helling your ass.
I didn't want that smoke.
So I want to get back to the 7 show and your actual boots on the ground review, but I got to get to something that we've been missing lately, which is your favorite part of the show. Now, this week, oh, and by the way, whoever won the Wolf Gray band and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cassette tape, you have not messaged us. So these are just sitting here, and Larry's just going to show them every week until you message, or they'll get put back into the rotation. I can guarantee you that next week, giveaways are really going to get back on track, but this week's giveaway is a never give up John Cena t-shirt or a shirt off of our web store of comparable value. I'm going to do gift cards because I don't like shipping stuff. With the website, I can just put in your address and pay for it. It just goes to you. So I feel like I like doing these merch store gift cards. You know what I'm saying? $25. And by the way, speaking of dollars, thank you, Urka, for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Mr. August, for the $4 super chat. He wants me to do another Newport Ash Ale. You know what? I will. But it's got to be out of a cup. I can't do it out of the con. I think they were just sending me the money so I could buy a fresh one, not $4 to put a cigarette in it and drink it. Anyway, favorite part of the show, comments from last week's episode before we get into the wrestling talk. Because, the world was abuzz, Larry. The community was on fire, talking about the return to the chat in text form of one Bad Take Bry, the Jay Berg himself.
I saw that.
Alive and well in the chat. After I seen him at Amanda's birthday party, Horns Up. So ZMZO says, good seeing Brian again. Deathmatch Elite been too quiet without him. Larry, do you think that's true? Do you think the deathmatch community is healthier without Brian?
No.
Everybody's singing Kumbaya and sucking each other off.
Yes.
Axel Knows 90 says, Pat definitely had the best take about Sabu. I'm all about a good car crash, but seeing him barely moving, then nosediving into the barbed wire pit was just super uncomfortable, not gonna lie. And, I got a lot of messages this week, Larry, agreeing with Axel's take on my take, that it was just sad. It was just sad.
I talked to someone that's that's in the biz, and they were like, "Oh, he was so getting ready for that match."
What does that mean? He was getting ready for the match? Like he was working out, doing DDP yoga?
He was doing everything that he was going to need to do to be able to do what he did that night.
DDP yoga.
All of it.
every
So
single
basically,
yoga DVD that was not
basically-
nailed down that was in front of him, he consumed.
Basically, they were saying all the like my shoulder, my ankle, I can't do this. All worky, 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 worky. He knew he owed for the time that he stayed at his hotel. It's supposedly his last match. It was all he was with it. He was very much with it.
Are you now I feel like you're painting a picture where it's like, hey, okay, we're 6 months out. I will do the match for this much money. Now we're 6 days out, and I caught a hip. I fell down my stairs shoveling. And I don't know, I got medical bills. Now I have to rent a bigger car because I'm hurt. So now, for me to legitimately do this, now I need this.
$750
And
more.
now I actually twisted my ankle checking into the hotel. So now I'm going to have to stay 2 more days. I'm going to have to probably hit up First Med. I'm going to have to buy probably a box of Advil.
$1,000 more.
I think I'm going to need $1,000 more. I know I'm right here, but I'm hurt.
Yeah. So he was prepared for the match, but I think at the last minute he was like, "Let me see if I can fleece this guy and get even more." I can't even do anything.
I can't even walk. There were so many legitimate road bumps along the way. A true pro. And then Sandman was like, "Hey, I heard Sabu just called me. He said that he was hurt. And he explained to me the situation. Turns out, same thing's happening to me."
Mm-hmm. I'm hurt too. We're all hurt.
We all got hurt. Well, anyway, the match was terrible. It was sad. It was pathetic. It was exploitative. Love Sabu. Hate Joey Janela. You get the gist. Mr. August says, Larry's shoe rant was an instant classic. This is another thing I got messaged about a lot on Blvd Bullies Instagram. It was I got a few even personal text massages saying that the shoe rant was one of the greatest things that's ever been broadcast from this show. Almost 150 episodes. 150 next week. Big announcement coming soon. Larry, the shoe rant was classic. Never, ever ask this man if he wore fancy shoes to the show. And tagged the time. So if you go back to last week's episode, you want to click on this comment 3329. This is what I asked Larry, what kind of suit did you wear? And he answered me perfectly fine. Then I said, what kind of shoes did you wear? And you got very agitated at me. And then through going to get your shoes, you were so angry, you're so full of rage to go get your shoes to show me your Gucci shoes that you fell. You took a tumble. And I got to say, I thought that the tumble was going to agitate you more. But upon replay, I feel like it got you out of your rage. And you kind of started laughing. And that put us on the road to recovery. I got several messages from several different people saying that they were in tears as you were screaming at me and then accidentally took a little tumble. So I just want to say, Larry, thank you for being a good sport. And more importantly, are you still mad at me about the shoes?
I'm never mad at you. I'm never mad at you. I just when you interject when I'm talking about some shit, and I'm like, what? Who cares? I'm telling you about this shit. Now you're talking about my shoes? Bro, they were legendary. You understand? God damn it. That's not what we're talking about right now. I understand. You're here. You're there. You're everywhere. But bro, come on. Look at the pictures. I put the fucking pictures out on the gram, the pictures that was coming out the night that it was going down. Look at my shoes.
I'm just saying you have awesome shoes. And then you went on to do a little S&M bit where you licked your spiky loafers, which was very, very sexy, which got a whole bunch of different type of attention. It's on our porn.
Well, I wore the white Caribbean Larry, no socks.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was saving that because I want the show to go well before I ask you what you wore on Savan and then ask you about your shoes and then you start yelling at me again. So I don't want to, don't spoil it yet. Don't spoil the full outfit yet.
Okay.
Horror, pain, gore, death says there's only one, Larry the motherfucking legend. Prayers for Nick. Stay strong. All right, Larry, this is another thing that's we talked about last week that's involved with your Savan weekend getaway is that, correct me if I'm wrong, was Nicholas not a surprise?
He was advertised.
Oh, he was advertised. Oh, the surprise was JJLN.
Yes.
I got my surprises mixed up. So without getting too in-depth, just a quick response to this horror, pain, gore, death. By the way, check out their pages and what they're doing. They're doing cool heavy metal stuff, too.
Yeah, we like horror, pain, gore, death. Sponsor a lot of shows, a lot of 7 shows.
Yeah, they're a good thing. How was Nick's mood? How was his demeanor?
I mean, he was not himself until it was time to go. And then after it was over, he was a little bit more himself.
It's kind of like Brett Favre. Like Brett Favre's dad died on Saturday. And then he played Monday Night Football and threw for 6 touchdown passes. And they're like, oh, we thought you were going to miss the game. He's like, this is how I fucking live. This is how I live. This is how I cope. I did it for Dad. And so it's kind of like some Mickey Rourke wrestler shit too. You know, the final scene where it's like, oh, I'm where are you going? I'm going to work. You know, I don't get hurt out there. You know, some type of deep artistic, emotional, cathartic shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely know what you're saying.
And final comment, I miss Brian from Bren153. Miss you too, Daddy-O. Says Brian in the fucking YouTube chat, in the YouTube comments. So there you go. I think I want to give the gift card to Mr. August Records, who not only gave me money for a new White Claw Surge, but also was the only comment to focus on my favorite part of the show, which was your classic, possibly top 5, top 10 moment shoe rant.
I mean, Pat, you know what you're doing. You know how to push the right buttons.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't accidentally muted myself for 90 or more seconds for a few weeks now.
You know what to give the people what they want.
Never give up.
That's right. Never give up.
Let's do wrestling news real quick. Let's do some quick headlines. Did you see this? Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, 30 years later, NWO promo announcing that they have a new project. Well, Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan did an NWO-style video announcing that they have a new project. And they're alluding to a mysterious third man. And I think that they're going to do... The first thing that popped in my mind, I'm not saying this is even perceptive or correct, is that the third man is going to be Conrad Thompson, and they're going to do a fucking NWO podcast series with Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and Conrad Thompson. And it's going to be like 83 weeks, but it's going to be NWO-centric. That's my guess. Do you have a guess, Larry?
I like that deduction.
I mean, I am on the fence about Eric Bischoff. I think that he has some really good opinions now that he's kind of older, and maybe like he's transcended from just a narcissist, an active narcissist, to like a passive egomaniac. I don't hate him as much as I used to, but I feel like he still walks the line of being a complete and total fucking douchebag. Because you know what I do? I use the Bret Hart meter. If Bret Hart thinks you're an asshole, or you think Bret Hart's an asshole, you're probably an asshole. So Bret Hart and Eric Bischoff, even though they've both found peace later in life, I feel like I still side with Bret Hart that Eric Bischoff is a numbskull and an asshole. But he has a silver tongue. And all that to say, 83 Weeks was a very interesting and good podcast. Conrad Thompson leveled it out. But if you add Hulk Hogan to the mix, that's like just doubling down. Like, that's just hate. That's a car wreck. A Hulk Hogan podcast recounting stories is a train wreck watch. It's a trauma watch waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Would you watch or listen to something like that, Larry?
Well, that's what we want to hear, Pat. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, but you would almost have to watch it knowing that Hulk Hogan is an unreliable narrator. You'd have to like almost enjoy it as like historical fiction.
I would enjoy it the same way that I enjoy the DJ Hyde shoot interview.
Liv Morgan's going to be in a huge motion picture. Liv Morgan's taking time off to be in a big, big movie.
I saw that.
And the headline is that you're going to be surprised with how impressive of a role this is. I have a guess.
What?
I think that they're doing a new Chucky movie, and that she's going to be the new school. I feel like the storyline of the new Chucky is that they become a real boy. By the way, I didn't think about this for 1 second before right now. They're doing a Chucky movie where it's called Chucky 9 Alive. Or Chucky is a real boy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to get fucking Bella Ramsey to play Chucky. And Liv Morgan's going to play Bride of Chucky in real life. A real bride. That's my guess. Pretty good. Not a bad guess.
I like that. I like that guess.
Or she's going to be in like a Hooters movie. Maybe they're making like a Super Size Me style, like a historical fiction fucking Hooters film that, or maybe it's an Enzo Amore biopic.
You're just going everywhere.
Just chewing it up, trying to figure it out, Larry.
I know what it is.
What is it?
There's some new Spider-Man.
Spider Twink?
There's a female character that's pretty badass.
Oh, she's going to be, what the fuck? Stacy Gwen?
Yep.
She's going to be 5'1" Stacy Gwen.
Yep.
I can see it. You can see it with the glasses. Just pop the fucking, what's the name of that character?
Stacy Keibler?
Shadow Heart, Shadow something.
Well, that's who she's gonna be. You heard it from me, Stacy Gwen.
What the fuck is that? What's the hero name of Stacy Gwen? Don't make me fucking Google it. I'm Googling it. Oh my God, why isn't it right here? Spider Woman? No, Gwen Stacy. No, there's a fucking, come on. White Cat, Black Shadow, White Shadow. Come on.
I don't know.
I'm still going. I'm still looking it up now. Show has come to a screeching halt.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat. I'm gonna go get my drink.
Goddamn this Spider-Verse. What'd you say?
I'm getting my drink. I was rushing. I'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
I'll be right back.
And somebody's saying in the chat it must be, it might be Avengers related as well.
Maybe Avengers.
Oh my God! I think it's like Black Shadow, Black Cat, Cat Shadow, White Shadow, Black. I don't know. So Larry's left. I guess I'll just keep doing headlines for now. I feel like that seems like it could be a healthy thing to continue doing. I mean, I guess that's all I got. I guess that's all I fucking got. I was going to ask Larry about The Rock and Triple H potential heat, and if it's a work, maybe it's like really great work, but who cares about that? What did you guys watch this week? What do we think of The Last of Us 2? Lou 2 is happening. Mixed thoughts. Episode 2, amazing. Episode 3, very slow. All right, the surprise for next week. One hint is that we are going to have a very special guest who will be on probably every other week. And then maybe we'll take it from there. Spider-Gwen. It's not Spider-Gwen. God damn it. Now I'm on my phone Googling it. We will have Spider-Man himself, Arachnid Man, on next week. Yeah, but the hint about the guest and the new recurring guest is that you've never seen them before on this show. Also, I have completely, almost finished Insides of Cinema. I'm sure that Schlack thinks that I'm a piece of shit. It's taken me 2 months, 3 months, 2.5 months to complete this edit, and it still could be shorter, could be snappier, could be better. I looked at it today. I'm mulling it over. I'm thinking, could we get it down to 35? Maybe we do an hour and a half version, and we do a 35-minute version. Maybe a members only thing. I'm not sure. But next Tuesday, this is huge. Episode 150, new special guest, rebirth, new graphics, maybe not a new logo because, I'm kind of broke, but, and a double feature. So next week we're going 7 to 9. And then at 10 o'clock next Tuesday, premiere of Insides of Cinema. 100%, 1,000% officially. So that'll be fun. And then we can all hang out in the chat. And maybe I'll even get Schlack to break his silence of many, many months and come on the show and talk about it. And that's all I got for you. Anything else? Muted. Yeah, I know. Pat, are we going to have an MLJ Battle Rap Bar of the Week segment? If so, I'm in. Oh, my God. We'll get, like, MLJ and fucking Top Dollar to do a fucking rap battle. All right, here's a question. Mount Rushmore of wrestling rappers. Off the top of my head, I'm going to go Men on a Mission, John Cena, Swerve, and Travis Scott. I think that's pretty good. Or you know what? Let me redo it. John Cena, Men on a Mission, Swerve, and Durag Vince McMahon. So, once again, if you want to enter next week's giveaway, in which I'll be giving away another $25 fucking Blvd Bullies Big Cartel gift card, you can comment on this video after it airs or right now, not in the chat, on the comments. You could comment who your Mount Rushmore of wrestling rappers are. You could comment what you think Liv Morgan's secret movie role is. You could comment what you think the Hulk Hogan Eric Bischoff thing is all about. You could comment about the Seven show that we're going to talk about. You could comment about the squirt. Oh, he's back.
I'm sorry.
Did you poop?
No, I ate a bag of Doritos.
A whole bag? Why don't you just bring
Yep.
the Doritos here with us?
I don't believe in it.
I see that you wear rings now. You're a ring guy. What's up with that? What happened?
But I always was a ring guy. I even have one of my old Hot Topic rings right nearby. It's a very controversial one that I got from Hot Topic years ago. It's of a Confederate soldier with the old hat with the two guns.
Well, anyway, I love you so much. Let's talk about this Seven show. Let's talk about your time there. We mentioned before that you had travel issues. You got stranded
Whoa.
at the airport.
Woes.
Your travel woes. Hey, before we get into that, are you watching The Last of Us? The show?
This is the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
I think I want to get
I've
a
always-
pinky ring.
I've always been a ring guy, but I've fluctuated in weight a lot. And when you fluctuate in weight, sometimes your fingers is big, sometimes they're small. But actually, you know what? I'm glad you reminded me of that guy. Now I got 3.
Wow, 3 rings.
Well, 4. This is not really a ring. I think this is just something I found that I was like, oh, it's in the shape of a ring. I'll wear it.
Shout out Prince Havoc in the chat, my co-host on Thursday Night Drunk Gaming. If you want to watch Prince and I play the viral popular video game Schedule 1, tune in Thursday on this channel Thursday evening to watch us get wasted and do that. He wanted to know what the surprise was. And Larry, while you were in the bathroom, I announced the surprise, which is that we are going to add, potentially, a new co-host to the show. Maybe not every week, maybe every other week. And I just told them that he wasn't Jewish and that there's somebody that they've never seen before. And we're going to start it next week. And on top of that, we're doing a double feature next week. A live show 7 to 9 and then a YouTube premiere of the Insides of Cinema recorded all the way back in February with me and Bald Steve and Schlack. Next week.
Nice. Nice.
It's going to be fun. You just trust me, Lar.
I have never not trusted you.
Macho Man. Oh, and then I also asked your Mount Rushmore of wrestling rappers because somebody brought up MLJ, who's at the Mount Rushmore of worst rappers. I said John Cena, Men on a Mission, I forget who else I said. Macho Man in the chat as one of the greatest wrestling rappers. Who comes to mind as great wrestling rappers, Larry? Wrestlers who rap.
Well, I mean, patriarch of the bloodline, Fatu.
He rapped?
Rikishi Fatu? Yeah. He's got a bunch of music out. Rikishi Fatu and some real. He used to do his own thing. It's time to make a change. It's time to rearrange. It's time. We had enough. Now it's time to tough it up. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. And I forgot about R-Truth, Max Caster, Randy Savage.
Another one.
Yeah, Mr. August might have nailed it. R-Truth, Max Caster, John Cena, Randy Savage, wrestling rap, Mount Rushmore. I did John Cena, Men on a Mission, and two others that I already forgot, so they must not have been so dope. I just wanted to say Men on a Mission, okay? Mom.
To me, the greatest rappers in all of pro wrestling were JC Ice and Wolfie D, who used to do the rap to the Nation of Domination, the original Nation with Farouk and Savio Vega and Crush. JC Ice and Wolfie D used to do like a rap to the fucking bass of that Nation of Domination. You know, they used to
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah.
I know all the words to it.
That's a really good hidden gem by you as well.
Yeah, they made me like rap.
So tell me about this fucking 7 show, dude. April 26, 2025. Soul streaming, I guess, and also on IWTV now, the replay. Was it outside?
I wasn't aware that it was outside till I got there.
So it was in like the backyard of the gym. It wasn't in the gym, it was in the backyard of the gym.
So the backyard of the gym is is no other way to describe it as it's a spot. It's called the Spot Pop-Up Market. The Spot Pop-Up Market. And there are all these like vendor booths that kind of seem like they're built in. They're like built into this lot. So, you know, when there's wrestling rolling through, wrestling's in the front of this shit, and you go into the back and you got all types of vendors with cannabis and tchotchkes and books.
So it was like a pop-up kind of little mini fest.
It was a bazaar.
Oh, I love that.
It was a bazaar.
I love that. So I guess if I had to guess, Loco did the venue hunting and the local vendor, corralling, and Sivan provided maybe flights and talent. You know what I'm saying?
You're my kid. You're my kid.
So that's somewhat accurate.
I mean, I don't know the details. I don't know the details.
Did you stay in an Airbnb with Nick Gage again?
Whenever I'm in Houston, I stay with the promoter. The promoter of Savan lives in Houston. And when I'm in Houston, I don't go to the Airbnb. I stay with the promoter.
Oh, did he make you delicious? Did Mike make you delicious food again?
No, because I wasn't there on the first night. I was stuck in the Fort Lauderdale airport.
So there was delicious food to be made and had. You just missed it. Did you hear about what he made? Were the guys like talking about it the next day? Like, oh, this motherfucker was bomb.
By the time I got there the next day, everyone was like waking up from a good night's rest. It was like one of the only times that I can ever remember on the first night or the night before the show, everyone not staying up all night. Like everyone was in bed. It was weird.
Wow. That is weird. So did you have breakfast with any wrestlers of note at the Airbnb?
I went to my favorite coffee shop. I got the rental. I got out for the plane. I went to the rental. I got in it. I drove to my favorite coffee shop in Houston.
Or Houston.
Or Houston. Whatever, Houston, Houston, whatever.
So what was the first match that happened? I'm seeing no rope barbed wire to open the show?
No.
What opened the show?
Bev Hoodfoot.
Oh, see, I'm seeing something different. I'm on Cage Match. I'm seeing Bev and Ledgrick Chamberlain. That's
not the right show. That's not the right show.
Till I Die too?
Yeah. Ledgrick Chamberlain was not there.
He was not there. Maybe that's a last minute change.
Maybe someone's just like, let me fuck it up and just put whatever I want. Be like, this was that.
Oh, fuck, dude. I thought I was all prepared. All right, so walk me through it, Larry. Tell me how you opened the show. What did you wear? Describe your outfit to us.
Oh, Pat. I was Caribbean Larry.
He was Caribbean. So what, you went Hawaiian shirt?
Purple lay.
Did you have that very tank top on underneath your Hawaiian?
No, I went with the what's his name? The Walker Wiggle, number 8 from the Celtics. Antoine Walker. The throwback Antoine Walker jersey, 8. That was underneath the Hawaiian, purple lay, fucking American Old Navy swim trunks. Old Navy swim trunks.
The red, white, and blue. The stars and stripes.
On my ass. On my ass. And the white boat shoes, the loafers, the boat shoes, and the captain's hat. And these glazzies. Pat. That was my look.
The glazzies. It's so funny because Cameron Brock says in the chat, can Larry sell his worn socks? Turns out Larry didn't wear socks to this show.
And I hurt my feet. I hurt my feet very bad. My feet were hurting. They still are hurting.
Why? Because of the lack of socks?
The shoes were cutting into my, what is that, your Achilles?
Now, are these like wood-bottom dress shoes? Yeah.
Yes, Pat.
So they're not
Yes.
boat shoes, because boat shoes I feel like are designed to be worn without socks. But you wore
You're
just
right.
the
You're right.
loafers, like the fancy. You wore fancy loafers.
It was a fashion faux pas, Pat. I bought the little thin ankle socks to wear to protect my feet, but I was rushing. To get out there
with
and
those types of the beautiful white loafers, you can't go ankle socks. You can't do that.
well, I got really, really like very. You can't even tell. They're like non-detectable.
Okay, well, if you had
And
to,
they would have been.
you'd have to go like breast tape. You'd have to go foot tape, titty tape, non-detectable
Yes.
Achilles tape, so that everybody can see that you're wearing these white loafs with no socks.
So yeah, I was Caribbean Larry, and I sold the last of my "It's About to Go Down" shirts.
Hell yeah, dude.
Finally, there are no more in existence.
Did you buy any food from a delicious Houston food truck or any kind of reefer from one of these pop-up shops?
So I bought food. I just got like a burger and fries from one of the places that was doing them like on the grill right in front of you.
Oh, man, that sounds awesome, though.
And Pat, I got it at the end. You know what it feels like to like do your work, and then at the end you get your reward.
You don't want to have bubble guts while you're.
Yeah. You want that for back at the Airbnb or back at the promoter's house. So I just waited till the show was over, and I was fucked up from drinking White Claws and everything, and I just sat down at a table and I ate my burger and fries. It was so good.
So who was like the main producer of the show? Was it Mike or was it Jaime? Who was the one like
It
running
was definitely Mike. It was definitely Mike. Mike was producing the show. There was no soul streaming present. There was no commentary for the show.
Oh, so you didn't have to hop back and forth.
Nope.
Wow, what a delight.
And Pat, I didn't even know the show was outdoors, but I knew I was flying Spirit, and I know how much they charge for like everything. So I was like, I'm doing Caribbean Larry, so I can just stuff all this shit in a bag. And then when I found that it was outdoors, I was like, perfect.
What was the weather like? Was it like a muggy, humid Houston night?
Oh, it was about, I'd say 71 degrees.
Okay, so about 71.
Yeah, breezy.
All right, so walk me through this. You opened the show. It was basically, for those of you who haven't seen the clips, it's like an outdoor show, and they like duct taped the garbage bags, like the tarp, as almost like the ring, the outside like pads. No guardrail, just chairs, right? Chairs, Larry. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Everyone just sit in a chair. Just sit in a chair.
Just sit down. It was almost like a backyard barbecue extravaganza.
Yeah. We invited everyone to come to the spot, pop-up market in Houston, and just sit down. And then if you want, walk around and buy some things.
All right, so what was the first match? It was the Bev versus who? Hoodfoot? Hoodie?
So Bev comes out and was like, I want to defend this belt every time. So I don't know who's back there and who's ready, but someone come on out here and step up. Dress it up and make it real for me. Hoodfoot comes out. Remember, Hoodfoot wasn't advertised. El Negro was advertised for this show. So Hoodfoot comes out and he's like, I'll be your Huckleberry. And Bev's like, let's get it on. And they fought, and Hoodfoot beat him for the belt.
New ultraviolent champion.
Yep, Hood. Now, RPW world champion and 7 ultraviolet champion. Have fun.
NYO Ho says, Till I Die 2 was a trip. Always great seeing you, Larry.
Always great to be seen.
Did you meet?
I love
Did you
you.
greet?
Everyone. I love everyone, and everyone was all up in my face, and I loved it.
Next match. Old acquaintance and pal of the Bullies, Ziggy Dice versus Killer Kosh. Any notes or standoutables from this? Did Ziggy Dice over-direct you in his entrance? Did he hand you a file card full of fucking bullshit? Did he grab the mic from you?
Yes.
Yo, am I like a genius?
I mean, you're my kid.
He had a mouthful. He gave you a mouthful.
Well, he didn't. He asked for the mic. He asked for the mic.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And I gave it to him. I gave it to him.
Hey, why not, Larry? That's less stress on your Vox box, and you don't even got to run over to commentary. This is a fucking... The only thing that sucks so far is that you missed the dinner. Yeah, hey, you know what? If every guy in the back thinks that they can do a better job than me, go ahead, take the mic. I'm still getting paid. I'm Caribbean Larry, baby.
Well, he's outlandish, and he did his.
Yes, of course I forgot.
He did his thing
with his daggly earrings, double daggly. Yo, I'm just saying, don't trust the daggly earring brigade, y'all. Anybody you see out there like that, don't trust them.
Well, he and Killer Cash did their thing. It was a classic number 2 battle.
It's an insta-class.
A lot of wrestling purists say 2 is the hardest match of the whole show. It's hard because, 1, it's like, oh, we finally saw something. We've been waiting so long. We saw something. Usually 1 delivers.
1's hot, yeah.
Yeah, 2, it's like, okay, what you got for me now?
Well, I mean, thank God he grabbed the mic and got people emotionally invested. Otherwise, it probably would have been flat as a pancake, Larry.
It was a good piece of business.
Little breakski for the boy, for the Faja. So then Little Sicko comes out, and there's a mystery opponent for Little Sicko. And I saw this, and this warmed my fucking cold heart, Larry. J.J. Allen, friend of the program, by the way, former guest of the program, was the special surprise of this show. And a fan was, recording it and freaked out. Did you see this video? It was like, oh my God, it's J.J. Allen. Like, the kid was just about it. J.J. Allen reposted this and he goes, oh man, I remember in the back I was thinking, who's even going to care or know that I'm even here? And this one guy, cared. And man, it brought a tear to my fucking eye. And then to see J.J. Allen, friend of the program, repost it, like proud of it, Whereas like the cynical person would be like, oh, who cares? It's one guy at a show with like 80 people at a bazaar. It's like, nah, dude, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Do you remember hearing one specific man screaming and crying when J.J. Allen came out? J.J. Escobar, I'm sorry.
I do not remember that, Pat. I do not remember that, but I do know the feeling of me going to a show where I didn't think anyone was really going to know or care that I was there. And like one fan, like kind of like flipping out that they knew that who I was and were like shouting to the heavens, said like, that's Larry Legend. Larry fucking Legend is here. Oh my fucking God, it's Larry Legend.
Yeah.
And JJ's right. It's a great feeling. It makes you feel like, oh, I didn't really want to come all the way up here to Buffalo for Tid the Season, but
Oh, Larry, that person who was screaming at you at Tid the Season was me, actually. Sorry.
really?
Yeah, it probably wasn't anybody new. It was probably just me because I was there. Sorry.
And you didn't know I was going to be there.
I'm
But
kidding.
it's a
I
good
jest.
feeling.
I jest. So, yo, Little Sicko, from what I saw, obviously I didn't watch the full thing, but these two guys put out a lot of clips, as Sammy Callahan would want. They put out a lot of GIFs. This match looked crazy. Was it crazy, Larry? Was it match of the night? Did it steal the show?
It went on for a smidge too long.
Cameron Brock in the chat says, every time I go to MCW, I chant, "We want Larry." Hey, you know what, Larry? And I haven't been to an NYWC show in a long time, but I never have been to an NYWC show where I don't hear that as well. Probably Robert Lottie out there doing his thing.
You know, that's the gift and the curse. That's the gift and the curse. Because if you don't think that I don't care about the MCW faithful, that I don't care about the NYWC faithful, that I don't care about the CZW faithful, I can only be one place.
Arrow Boy and Journey Fatu. How was that? How was the energy in the ring for that one?
Legendary.
And then you had, am I reading this correctly, Larry? Did I see what I saw on your Instagram? And at one point you were just doing your legendary Larry thing on your gram. And these two guys were beating the fucking shit out of each other. And you go, how you said something about work. You're like, let's go to work, boys. That's how we work, boys. Or something. It was something so cool. It was like you were managing both of them. Masada versus Nicholas Gage.
I think I said something like, "Give me that work, boys."
Yeah, yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah. Because I was recording. We had no streaming that night. It wasn't going out to the world. So I'm like, all right, I know these motherfuckers. I know where they're from. Give me that work, boys. Let's go. Give me some shit.
Yeah, it was dope. So how was that? How's Masada holding up? Friend, by the way, first ever friend of the program, Masada. OG. Terrifying guy. So happy that we're friends. Shout out.
At one point, Masada's tank top, very similar to the one that I'm wearing tonight, this strap broke. So he had the kind of Andre the Giant one strap look thing going. And,
Hell yeah.
He's kind of gotten a little wider. Masada's got a little wider over the years. So he really looked like a whole new level of imposing with that hair going crazy and wild and that strap down.
I also recently was scrolling through the gram and saw like a video he made where it was like, selfie mode, very up close. And this guy's got the thickest gauge nose ring possibly of anybody I've ever seen. This thing is fucking huge, dude. I don't know. Maybe it was AI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just something I thought about this week. Jeez, sue me.
He's not a bad looking man.
Tank tops versus the world. Hell yeah. Yo, I don't know about you, Larry, but this room here with the lights and with the cameras and the action, it runs hot. It's running hot. So yeah, it might be like 65 degrees outside, but it's tank top season in here. I was a little sweaty when we started, but
Pat, I still got tank tops. Thanks for segueing. Buying my tank tops, everyone. I don't want to wait any longer to ship it to you.
Just message Larry. Maybe you should just send me Maybe we'll do. Maybe I'll put them on our store as well.
Yeah,
Just
give
get
me
an
a
order
look.
and I'll send it
No,
to you.
the tank tops are a hard sell for our community. A lot of the guys don't really want to show their arms and their breasts, their side boobs. I didn't realize that. I just thought, oh, it's a tank top. Everyone wants a tank top.
So I saw a lot of great videos of Nick Gage interacting with fans after his match, all bloody and fucked up. He won the match. How was it? How was the energy?
He didn't win. He didn't win.
I'm reading right here. Nick Gage defeats Masada.
No. I don't know what you're reading. Masada beat him.
It took place yesterday at Powerhouse Gym in Lucin. Masada beat him. How? What was the finish? I don't know if I even believe you. Oh, and Larry also said, "Talk that shit," which you say. I feel like that's a secondary catchphrase of Larry. Talk that shit. Blaze the bingo.
I did that. I did that because they were speaking Spanish. Pagano was fighting Alex Colon, and there was a heavy Mexican population out there, and they were talking all their Mexican shit talking during the match. It was very riot like. It was awesome.
That sounds awesome. So,
bro, I'm pretty sure Masada. I'm pretty sure in Texas, Masada defeated Nick Gage. I'm almost certain of that. But they played Gage's music at the end after he made a speech.
Oh, speech. That's one of my favorite heckles, Larry. When a guy is obviously about to give a speech, scream as loud as you can, speech.
Like you're giving him the idea.
Right, yeah. Yeah, speech.
I do love that one too, Patrick.
One of my all-time favorite. Or even after the first sentence, because they're out of breath. I was like, when I first got invited to be here, and I heard I was going to fight so-and-so. Speech! Yeah, that's a free one for all y'all fucking bulls of the wood out there.
That's right.
Yeah. Coming on the program in a minute is going to be Job for a Cowboy, the Rhinestone one, the Rhinestone Cowboy. I believe his new official name is Stone Cowboy, STF Media. I don't know if you saw this on his gram. He did an epic walk and talk through the Squared Circle Expo, and I got to admit, I was a little jealous. Have you been watching WWE, Larry?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Monday Night Raw.
Braun and Heyman and Seth.
Bane, the Joker, and the Penguin.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
So who will be the fourth member? Karrion Kross is my pick. Karrion Kross and Charlotte.
As Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze?
Exactly. Or the Riddler and Poison Ivy.
See, I think the Riddler was Sammy.
Wow.
But
So last night, basically the fourth member they wanted, which this is great, was Sami Zayn.
Yes.
The Riddler.
Yes.
Right. And that was the theme throughout the episode. And then, of course, Sami told Seth where to stick it. Great acting and promo on both of their parts. Apparently, Seth was wearing a $13,000 coat. That wizard.
Oh, that regalia.
Yeah, apparently his outfit, it was like a $25,000
that Apple regalia
ensemble.
Yeah.
And he wore the glasses with the eyes, which was so stupid. So anyway, they tried to recruit Sammy. Sammy told them where to stick it. Sammy got fucking brutalized and destroyed by Braun, Breaker, and Heyman, and then Seth in the end. So you're saying that it's not out of the realm of possibility that Sammy could turn on somebody and actually wind up joining them in the long run anyway? Because, you said he was the Riddler. We're trying to figure out the fourth villain, Batman villain. Hey, Larry!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So who's the fourth member going to be?
Oh, okay. It's gonna be Ron, Seth, Happy Heyman, and El Grande Americano.
Okay.
El Grande Americano.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be... You know who it should be? Maybe Charlotte Flair needs it.
You mentioned her.
Maybe she needs it the most.
I don't think there's any hope for her.
She's shot.
Well, she's a Flair.
She was saying publicly that she doesn't want to be Charlotte Flair anymore. She wants to be Ashley Flair. And she wants to, because the character, Charlotte, that she created was just not relatable. So now if she goes and she just becomes Ashley Flair, maybe she could recapture some of her magic.
Okay.
All right, you guys are all bugging. It's not going to be Becky, because Becky's in a thing with fucking Tyler Valkyrie. It's not going to be Grande Americano, because he's got his whole other thing with the Lucha Bros, and he's doing mid-card stuff. It's not going to be that. It's going to be either Karrion Kross. I like the idea that it's Karrion Kross, because you get actually two for one. Now you get the female wrestler / manager, maybe. I like that idea. Or, I mean, I would love Charlotte, and let me try to pick a third. You could throw like a... No. I was thinking about Aleister Black or Rusev. But no, they're fine on their own, too. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who should the fourth member be? Larry, give me somebody else other than Grande American. Somebody who, like, needs it, who's like a solo act.
Hey, you know who we haven't seen for a while that would be great to be like kind of a heaviest? Almost. That's like a Bane.
Almost. No, because Braun's the big. Braun's the heavy. He's the tank.
Yeah, but almost is like a giant.
You got the tank. You got to think about it like Batman. If you follow Batman, the answers will reveal themselves. So you know what I mean? It's like Penguin, Joker, Bane, and you know. They need a goth emo guy. That's right. They need like a metal guy. And he comes. It's Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. She could be the Poison Ivy. She could be the seductress, the witch. You know what I mean? It kind of fits perfectly to me. I'm zeroed in on Karrion Kross.
I like what you're doing.
I like what you're doing.
I'm posting this show on my page to be like, watch what happens live.
Did you see that Pat McAfee is going to be fighting Gunther?
I love Pat.
You love him?
I love Pat.
You know, everybody hates him now, but I still kind of like him.
I've always liked them.
I feel like in the beginning, everyone was like, wow, this guy's so refreshing. He's so fun. And everyone's like, oh, this guy's so corny. But I haven't turned on him yet. I love him. And I love that he's doing this crazy match. And I think this is a way for him to get written off because...
He always has to get written off. He always has to get written off.
Yeah, it's football season. He does College Game Day. You want to talk about a neck brace? That's what he's going to do, dude. Yeah, I think Gunther's going to destroy him. Or something will happen and the guy who saves McAfee will become Gunther's new, like maybe, his new adversary. Like you could put over a baby face if McAfee just gets murdered and Cole gets murdered and then somebody comes in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah?
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you? Where are you? Are you outside? Are you inside?
I'm in my house. I'm in my house.
What's the deal with that Miller hat? Why aren't you drinking Matt Cardona's beer?
Oh yeah, fucking. This is just for Matt Cardona to remind him he needs a sponsorship for Miller Lite.
So you went to the square. Ladies and gentlemen, Real Rhinestone Cowboy.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
There's Larry. Hi, Larry.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm out of it.
So am I. It's all right. I fucked myself up at work, tip my pinky off.
Slice your pinky off?
God damn.
I gotta. That's what happens when you got a job. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I have a job. I've cut my hands. How bad is it? Did you get an actual chunk off? Were there stitches? Was it just a duct tape job?
No, listen, man. We're in the wrestling business, so that means super glue and electrical tape.
You sabooed
That's what it means. Yeah, as all my employee fellow coworkers looked at me like I was a nutcase, just super gluing my finger up.
Yeah, that sounds.
That's what you got to do.
Horrifying. That's some real cowboy shit. Cowboy shit. Cowboy. Hey, you went to the Squared Circle Expo. Where was it? Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis.
Indiana.
Yeah. So how is that? How far is that? How far of a drive is that for you?
I want to say it was a easy 8 hours, I want to say.
Oof.
But it was longer for the guy I was riding with. He was coming from Ontario, Canada. So
Ontario, yeah.
Yeah. He brought the syrup. We had a good time, No, it was our third straight year there for STF Media. It's always a packed house. A lot of people were there. Joe Henry was getting fucked up. It was a good time. Will Ospreay was pretty annihilated, and he was having a good time. Bret Hart was getting swarmed like a motherfucker, and then he had to leave because he got sick of all the people that were wiping their dirty hands on the Hall of Famer.
Wait a second. You're telling me you say these guys get fucked up where? At the hotel bar afterwards?
Hell yeah, man! You got the after party, man. You got the after party. You're living it up. You're getting drunk with fucking your favorite superstars. You know what I mean? You can't.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
One time when Steve and I were invited cordially to the Melrose Ballroom for an Impact taping to do social media, I just decided that I was going to just focus on Don Callis the whole night. And it was and so every post that we did, that we got the tag to do and the hashtag and the tickets to do, I was like, what's Don Callis up to? Here's Don Callis writing notes. Don Callis noticed us. He's very mad at us now. Don Callis is tweeting about us. Don Callis. And then we went to the after. We got invited to the after party, and it was free food and all this great stuff, and everybody was there. And Don Callis left. He came in and left because he saw we were there. So then I shot him through the window of the after party. I was like, Don Callis left because we're here. We're going to make him a Don Callis. And then we wound up getting wasted and reuniting Don Callis and Joel Gerdner. And like that, we had them, we were just standing there as they talked their problems out over the last 20 years. We wound up making friends and winning over Don Callis, who, by the way, is an asshole. Anyway, how was the expo?
It was a good time. Joe Gertner was at the expo for 2 days. He was there. He was fucking doing his thing.
I saw him with the blue meanie.
Yeah, Meanie was there. I almost got choked out by Steph DeLander because I put the camera in her face and didn't ask her permission. You know, I got to ask the queen permission before you do things. You know what I mean? I was just strolling around there being an asshole, just putting microphones in people's faces, seeing what was going on, you know. And then Matt Cardona called me a poser because he doesn't like Miller Lite, and I don't know why, because he couldn't handle real beer. I don't know.
Miller Draft, he wants you to drink his beer, his garage beer.
I don't trust a beer that has lemon lime in it. I mean, that's a hard seltzer to me. I mean, that's not a beer.
Yeah.
It's not a beer.
You interacted with Eugene, who gave you a lot of good stuff on camera.
Yeah, Eugene. He was pretty lively, for sure. He was pretty lively. Who the fuck? Steve, Crazy Steve. I don't know if it was Crazy Steve, but it was somebody dressed up like Crazy Steve. Yeah, I had a good interview with them too. A couple nutcase Undertakers, they were there. I threw my microphone in one guy's face, and he gave me the weirdest face I've ever seen. Only a mother could love. But one thing that was fabulous about this expo, it seemed like everybody understood the assignment and wore deodorant, because there really wasn't a lot of stinky people, and it was kind of weird.
It was one of the better smelling expos.
Yeah, it smelled pretty good.
That's very important to call out.
It is because people actually took the time to check their hygiene. Because last year, Mariah May had absolutely no problem telling people you smell too much, so you got to fucking go. And she came this year, and she stayed the whole time. So Nick Nemeth got stripped of the Squared Circle Expo title, and now they have a new title holder in Jake Ullman.
They have a little match. They have a little show.
It was a little rumble. Yeah, they had two shows. We did Black Label Pro, and then we did the actual expo part of it.
Black Label Pro doing things at the expo.
Yeah, they did some. The main event was good. Josh Bishop is very underrated, and I would like to give him a shout out because the Intense Icon, he put up a good match with Raj Deji, also known as Jinder Mahal to some people.
Did you do production for Black Label Pro? What was your role in that?
We did everything. I was ringside cam for both nights, so I was ringside.
So what was the match of the night for BLP?
Well, it was Tony Atlas versus versus Shaza McKenzie.
Shaza.
Tony Atlas.
Yeah, Tony Atlas was doing his foot fetish thing, but then Mick Foley came out, and it was just, it's like if you're a fan, it just gets you with the nostalgia. But yeah, Tony was doing some foot fetish type shit. He was sucking toes.
So he like acted like he was going to be in a match, and then allowed her to stomp all over his head.
Well, it started with Frank the Clown first.
Oh,
Mick Foley's
fucking Christ!
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. Yeah. Frank the Clown started it.
Probably put up a lot of money. Probably sponsored the.
Maybe. There was a lot of sponsors getting thrown around in that place. Like every wrestler pretty much had a sponsor, so. But the expo's a big fucking, it's nonstop. Nonstop people. There was a couple people snapping out, the handlers that were taking care of the fucking wrestlers and the talent. They were snapping out like, I'll never goddamn do this again. It's mass chaos. But just people got a bitch about good things all the time.
So what happened when Mick Foley got in the ring and confronted Tony Atlas?
Oh, he was on Tony Atlas's side. He ended up being Tony's manager, and they fucked up both of them.
And Tony
Yeah.
Atlas won?
Yeah, Tony Atlas won. Yeah, by a tap out via biting the big toe.
Oh my God.
It was a
This is
biting
how
toe
we
hold.
do it.
That's exactly what it was.
Larry, have you ever been part of a foot fetish submission in all your yarsh?
I'm sure somebody wanted to throw their toe in Larry's mouth at some point in his career. I mean, 20 plus years. I mean, come on.
Any kind of Jerry the King, Bret
but
Hart foot biting stuff?
I feel like Tremont's first tournament of death, he had to fight Necro, and at one point he bit Necro's feet because he wanted to show how much it meant to him to beat Necro. And Necro fought with them feet exposed, tootsies exposed, and I think Tremont bit his toes.
Toots
Bit
out.
his toes to fucking hurt him.
Well, there
But
you
no,
have
I've
it.
never been involved. I've never been involved in any sort of foot fetish stunts.
No, neither have I.
It wins matches via Tony Atlas.
I do remember the first time I watched somebody jump off the top rope barefoot and fly into thumbtacks, which was Vikingo, or no, not Vikingo, Viking, at the old Game Changer World venue.
And for me, that was
Shoes off and jumped off the top rope and landed in thumbtacks. For no reason, it was a missed high risk maneuver or something, It's crazy. I don't like seeing my wrestlers' bare feet. And I don't like seeing their bare knees either.
You don't like Gulak.
Timothy Thatcher.
You don't like Thatcher.
No. And I don't like when Adam Cole puts his knee pad down either.
Got to put that just signifies you're a badass when you don't have none of that padding. That's what that means.
Who else was cool at the expo? Who else treated you with love and respect?
Bret Hart was cool to meet and work around. He was cool. He was keeping it together.
Would you go up to him and say, "Hey, Bret, I just want to let you know we're going to be filming over here"? What was your interaction with him?
I was trying to smoke with him, to be honest. I was trying to burn with Bret.
Schmizzes, yeah. Schmizzes heavy.
Little schmick.
Yeah, I had a couple nice cookie pre-rolls on me, and I was trying to smoke with Bret, But the line was too big, and I had shit I had to do, so I smoked with a couple other people instead.
Good. Was it a good scythe?
Yeah. Missy Hyatt was fun, too. I mean, every time you see Missy Hyatt, she's fun to be around.
Well, that sounds great.
He was packed shit. It's a good time. I'm ready for House of Glory now.
Who had the longest line?
Will Ospreay and Bret Hart easily. Will Ospreay might have had more people than anybody there.
Did you interact with him at all?
I couldn't. You couldn't even get close to him. They treated him like a mafia mob boss when he was there. They had him in his own separate room.
He had like
There's
a
like
Pope
two
mobile.
separate. Oh, he was decked out in his Will Ospreay gear. Like you knew it was him. You couldn't hide him if you tried.
Does he look big in person, or does he just look like a normal short?
No,
short
he
guy?
looks like a normal fucking human being.
Yeah, just a regular.
But Kyle, that makes me assume the same thing about Kyle Fletcher, that he's not as big in person, but he is seen. It's like they say, when you're on the camera, you look bigger than normal,
Well,
or you look skinny.
So I worked at a restaurant that Jose Reyes, former Mets player, went to eat dinner, right? And when you watch baseball on TV, this guy Jose Reyes looks like the smallest man. He looks like he looks like Rey Mysterio compared to like these big motherfuckers, you know? And then you see Rey Mysterio, or you see Jose Reyes in person, and it's like, oh my God, this guy's fucking huge. But I feel like that doesn't happen with wrestlers. I feel like if I saw Finn Balor, I'd be like, oh, this guy's short. I feel like the wrestlers were short, but the baseball players are huge. You know what I mean? Like the actual main sports people, when you see them in person, it's like, oh my God, this guy's the hugest person ever.
I mean, I said that to Matt Cardona the first time I ever met the damn dude.
Oh, he's
Or
like a
worked
normal
with
guy.
him.
I mean, yeah, he's jacked, but he's just like 5'8".
Yeah, I'm like, you're not as big as you seem in real life. Like, I'm like, you're kind of normal guy. And that's when he gets into his spiel and starts talking shit and seeing if you can handle it. You know.
Well, and he's another one with the Roman Reigns blue-ass teeth. He's another one with those $40,000 fucking...
I don't even know if I would want to have those hay-ed fucking teeth. I don't know.
I'm just going to do it.
They look weird. They look weird. They don't look natural.
No, I mean, and Matt's
Not at all.
look pretty bad, but Romans are maybe the worst of all time.
I think Tully Blanchard had him. And this is weird. This is fucking weird now. 4 Horsemen were all there, and I'm going to be honest with you. There was nobody in their line, and it was so fucking weird to see. You had Tully, you had Barry Windham, you had J.J. Dillon. Nobody.
Wow.
Weird.
Will Ospreay, longest line.
Fucking weird how these wrestling fans are now. Like, they don't know the classics. They don't know these people.
How was Joe Hendry in comparison to those two you just mentioned?
Oh, he had a line, but I know he had TNA the next. Like, he had to leave halfway through the expo.
I mean, Mariah May must have had a long line as well.
She was pretty long, but she wasn't the longest. I want to say the longest was Steph's was pretty fucking long. Steph DeLandre was pretty long. Miss Jacqueline was there. She had a pretty good fucking line, and that was good to see. Because Miss Jackie is a natural treasure. She really is.
Amen.
You want to talk about aging like fine wine? That's Miss Jacqueline. 100%.
I love
Amen.
this.
Amen.
There was a lot of people that ended up not showing up too. Like Zilla didn't show up, and he's getting blasted on the internet about it. Fucked up shit.
What other matches were there?
Man, I'm trying to fucking. I knew you were going to say that, and I'm trying to remember them all. It's just like a flash now. Larry knows what I'm talking. This shit's a flash now.
Yeah, I mean, it all becomes one long event. It becomes one long cage tournament of survival of master of the mat.
The one match, Carson Drake. I had the pleasure of filming for the NWA World's title, Latimer versus Keith. He has kids. That was a pretty good fucking match. But Enzo versus Carson Drake was probably the surprising match of the night.
Enzo and Moore.
That Carson Drake kid's got a lot of fucking personality. I've never really seen too much of him, even though he's NWA US champion.
I'm seeing
the snatched the microphone. He snatched the microphone right out of my fucking hand. But his dumb ass didn't know he turned the damn mic off. So he's just roaming around trying to film shit with no microphone.
What about Mackeyhausen?
Maki was good, but it was a short ass match. It was, I think it was like 5-minute match, real quick.
Larry, have you ever had any interactions with Danhausen or Maki Ito?
Yep.
All right, cool.
He's still signed to AEW, I guess.
That's cool.
I didn't fucking know that at all. I thought he was just
I did
whatever.
I did share with Danhausen Uncharted Territory season 2 for Beyond. It was a big old like 8-man. Chris Statlander was in it. Nick Gage was in it. Danhausen. Me and Danhausen, we interacted.
Did he give you a mouthful to say when you introed him? Did he take
He
the
tried
mic
to
from
curse
you?
me. He tried to curse me.
Did
Now,
you
how
block
long
it?
does that curse last?
How long does it last? Did you
Yeah,
block it?
I've always wondered that. How long does it last for?
I was able to get out of Dodge. I don't think he got me, or I wouldn't be alive. But I did die shortly before that.
You died before that.
Yeah, it was like one of those curses where I got cursed before he actually cursed me.
Okay.
I do have this to say. Spider Nate Webb was in the Rumble, and I will admit this. That was the shortest entrance of his life.
Did he not come out to Teenage Dirtbag?
No? Oh, he did. He did. He was about to do a spiel, but they must have told him, no, 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 no. You're not doing that long 7-hour entrance. You're going to cut it down to like maybe 10 seconds.
So did they
He
start at
came
least
out
with the
clapping hands.
chorus?
No, he didn't even get that.
Wow.
He got the beginning 10 seconds of the song, and that was about it.
And how did he do in the Rumble? How did he look? I feel like he got he had like a broken hip or something very bad recently.
Yeah. But he was walking perfectly fine. Like, he looked in good spirits. He looked good.
Did he get
But
any eliminations or?
no, it was actually mass chaos, this Rumble. It was, I didn't really get what I was filming. But, that
Who
happens
won? Who
sometimes.
won the Rumble?
Jake Oman. He's the new Squared Circle champion.
Sweet. Yeah, you said that. That's sweet. That's super
He
sweet.
threw out Matthew Cardona, the death match king.
With the beer. With the guy with the beer.
Yeah, the guy with the garage beer.
All right, well, I don't really have much else to talk about. So I'm going to do a lightning round of all the predictions that we had for next week. We're going to redo it all. I'm going to throw it to you guys. If you had to guess, what do you think Liv Morgan's... And by the way, comment below as well and win yourself something. What do you think Liv Morgan's movie role is? Larry? We said it before and I forgot.
That's Spider-Man, Gwen, whatever her name is.
Yeah, what's
Gwen?
Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I think.
What do you think?
She's gonna be in a WWE, funded horror movie.
Okay. Bride of Chucky, alive and well.
I mean,
Alive
she's
and
already
kicking.
done the Chucky thing. She's
That's what
already
I'm saying.
done the
There's
champ.
history there.
I think it'll be completely different.
All right. Who's going to be the fourth member of the Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins group? Larry, definitive final answer.
I think Charlotte is a good person to stick in there because of legacy. And I like Karrion Kross as well. And if you get Karrion, that means you get Scarlett to boot.
The Scarlet, not the Charlotte. All right, Ryan. So, what do you think? I agree with you, Larry.
It's unanimous. There's only one choice, and that's Cross. He's working his ass off.
Yeah. I don't remember what else we really spoke about. Summer tournaments coming up. Summer things.
Larry, you there?
I think
He's got
May
rings now.
17th, May 17th, SBN, Atlanta. Atlanta debut for 7.
Savant.
May 17th.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
that sounds dope. I'm
Yeah.
going to a work karaoke thing this.
Oh, May 3rd. May 3rd, CZW does a show on the beach. It's going to be a show on the beach.
Bash at the beach?
The Atlantic City beach.
The Atlantic. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to a work karaoke thing this weekend. Probably watch some New York Mets, first place in all of New York National League Baseball, Major League Baseball. Also, yeah, I think that's it for me. There's like a barbecue. There's like a pop-up smoker, like this dude, this super fat dude with all these like meats and all these different grills and smokers. He's
Fat
doing like
guys know what they're talking about
Cinco
when
de
it comes
Mayo
to
like
eating.
pop-up thing, which like I feel like I want to go to. That's what I'm going to be doing. What's your bookings like, Rhinestone?
I got House of Glory in Chicago. On Friday. I got the Armored Fight League right after my birthday, which is the May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I was supposed to be a Mexican kid, but I was white. I don't know why.
Your birthday
Don't
is
make
on
any
Cinco
sense.
de Mayo.
Word.
Wow.
Yeah. I drank them Coronas. And I give,
yes.
yeah, and them tequilas.
Wow.
Armored
I've been
Fight
doing
League.
Corona and Jameson, and I just feel wrong.
I like Jameson and Sprite.
Wow.
That's a delicious combo right there. The Sprite actually calms down the whiskey a little bit.
I really like that. A rhinestone cocktail, Jameson and Sprite.
Damn, yeah, it's a
So you got
classy
House of
drink.
Glory, you got your sweet, sweet birthday. Have you
Armored
considered
Fight
trying
League.
out for BattleBots? Could we all take this show on the road and go to BattleBots? You produce, I'll commentate, Larry announces, and we just like revitalize BattleBots.
Well, can't you buy BattleBots at Walmart now? All in your, can't you
There
buy
should be a
BattleBots?
deathmatch version of the BattleBots.
I thought of deathmatch soapbox derbies.
You can hit each other with tubes as you're racing down like a hill.
You race down the hill and you're represented by a wrestler. And whoever wins, that's the wrestler that got to go at it.
They got to build their own. Fans
I
bring
was
the
also high
soapbox.
when I thought about these ideas. So, not always the best.
All right, that's all I got for this week. Larry's got to poop. I'm a little hungry.
I got to fix my finger.
And Rhinestone's got to fix your finger. Hey, have you dunked it in peroxide? Have you sizzled it and baked it in peroxide yet?
That's the first thing that I did.
That's
but
the
I'm gonna
best
do it
part
again.
about getting a cut, actually.
I like the little bubbles. The
Yeah.
little bubbles are soothing.
Feels clean.
Yeah, and then I take an Epsom salt bath, and then I'm good.
Nice.
Word.
Well, hey, take care of that finger. Larry, final thoughts, Daddy-O. Nice tank top, by the way.
No, I just I'm glad to be alive, and I'm glad to be able to share this time with everybody that tunes in every Tuesday night from 7 to 9. Blvd Bullies versus the world.
Hell yeah. And hey, here's to you and your beautiful shoes. Always. We're ending 5 minutes early. Rhinestone Cowboy, final thoughts, final times for the people.
Live life to the fullest.
I'm very excited about next week. Double feature. Finally doing the movie review show. God damn, what an undertaking. I'm going to have to YouTube tips and tricks about how to edit 3 hours of conversation.
This is like equal to the release of the Titanic right here.
Whatever.
Honestly.
Screw you. Merch stuff, contests, hit us up. But if you're our enemy, everything you do sucks and die slow. Out of time. Bye-bye. Bye.